Hello everyone. The last couple of days, I've had two different friends come to me saying, Tasha, my hair is growing longer than ever, but tangles, I hate them, and I don't know what to do with them. And so I thought I'd make this video for the both of them. So hi Annie, hi Gina, to help, because there is a trick to it. I gave them a list of things to do immediately. Number one, this is a tangle teaser. Mine is dirty, sorry. And this is a very great thing. It bristles. And does that. This is great. It came out 6 or 7 years ago, I guess. And it's really, really great at detangling your hair. But like I told Annie, it's more than just having a tangle teaser. There's a trick to it. And I feel awkward saying that because who doesn't know how to untangle their hair? But there is a method to the madness. And I'm going to show you how to do that here today. My hair is super, super tangled. I don't generally brush my hair until I'm about to wash it. So it's been about a week. And people generally come to me for hair care tips simply because I have a lot of hair. And they figure she's gonna know. They're not wrong. First off, if you're gonna detangle your hair, make sure to take off any watches, rings. I have my wedding ring on, but it's just simple band, so it's not going to catch on anything. If your nails have been done poorly, like I do mine by myself, so it gets up there. So sometimes put your hands up in your hair, and when they come out, you'll trail strings. Basically, you don't want anything to be on your hands or your wrists. It's going to catch on individual hairs. It just makes it so much harder. Alright, so first things first, we're detangling your hair. And obviously, this is going to take a tremendous amount of time because it's my hair and it's 5 feet long. But if your hair is only like a foot long, if you follow this method, it's not really going to take you all that long at all. So, first thing first is to separate the hair. Your part doesn't have to be perfect. You don't care about it right now. You're just trying to get it brushed out. So, first thing is I like to go through with my fingers. We'll concentrate on this part of my hair. It's about the length of a normal person's hair, right? Go through with your fingers first, and I tell people that the main cause of tangles is going to be little itty bitty bits of fuzz. They get caught in your hair, and then all of the other hairs wrap around it. Or it's shed hairs. Generally speaking, just a healthy head of hair will shed somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 hairs a day. So if you're like me and you only brush your hair like once a week, that's, 700 hairs that is just caught up in this mess. So obviously I'm going to have a very large wad of hair once I get done with this. So I like to go through with my fingers first and detangling, and that helps just kind of pull some of the stray hairs down and out. And do that, just go ahead and pour them out. Pull them out, have a trash can or something, or a hair receiver. I have one of those in the bathroom. Just to catch the stray hairs, wad them up. You definitely want to do this before you shower. And it varies. If you have incredibly curly hair, do not brush your hair unless you are in the shower and you have a lot of conditioner on your hair. But if you're like, you barely have a wave or you have straight hair, I barely have a wave, you can just go ahead and brush your hair while it's dry. It's probably safer for it. Hair does stretch when it's wet. It's easier for curly hair girls to detangle their hair when it's wet because that's usually the time when they're going to have a massive amount of conditioner on it. And just the water and everything gives them a tremendous amount of slip, and that allows them to detangle but straight hair girls, generally safer to do it while it's dry. Personal preference, I have a lot of trouble detangling when it's wet. So after a couple passes with your fingers, you've gotten a lot of the stray hairs and dust. And try and do this in the light if you can. And you can kind of like see those tangles, see when you're going to have some problem areas. So, and now, how to start. At the very end of your hair, take your tangle teaser, grab just that little bit at the bottom, start working it through. And each time you work it through once, go up a little bit. And then take it through again. And you can kind of hear it catching. It makes this very tick, tick, tick noise. And that's just the nature of this brush. I remember when it first came out, people were just like, oh, it makes this horrible noise. Maybe what if it's breaking my hair? And that was very much a concern, but it doesn't appear to do so. It will give you static because it is a plastic brush. If static is a big problem for you, I recommend, if you don't like the tangle teaser because you're worried it's going to give you a lot of static electricity, I recommend a wooden brush instead. Wooden bristles. These are actually made out of bamboo, but so it's a relatively cheap brush. There are very, very nice wooden brushes out there, handcrafted and all of that, but this is great for this. And I got this wooden brush actually for oiling your hair, but that'll be another video. You can do the same thing. And also, tangle teasers, if you don't like the held in your hand thing, I don't think I'm holding it right like this. If you don't like it being held like this, they do have ones with handles, so you can have like a paddle brush effect. But it is shaped like this, so you have a more better like ergonomic hold, so you can get a hold of it really good. And you just keep moving up the hair. Like as tangled as my hair is, I've already got a quarter of it untangled. Oh. Sometimes I have a wooden comb at work, and sometimes if I'm really bored, I'm watching something compile or process. I work in IT, so there's a lot of click a few buttons and wait for the progress bar to go across the screen, or scroll up the screen if you're on Linux, I guess. So I have some downtime on my hands, and I usually have like 6 different things going at once, but sometimes it's nice to just sit down, bring out my wooden brush or my wooden comb at work, and just very gently do this. And it's so much easier to do it with the tangle teaser at home, but a wooden comb's what I got at work because I can fit it in my my desk drawer. So. Like I said, just continue working from the bottom. Like, oh god, if you start at the top, it's just, oh god, it's just horrible. It's one of the things that I used to do when I was new to growing out my hair the first time. And just like, yeah, it was great until you got here, and now I've got this huge tangle here. Oh, but I used to do that. I had a portable brush with like this. It was soft, but it had plastic bristles and rip. Oh god, it was horrible. But at the time, that's how I thought you were supposed to do it. So I mean, maybe this is reaching people who are going to go like, oh, start at the bottom and work your way up. Okay. So, oh gosh, and now I'm hitting the bad part. I keep my hair up in a bun most of the time, but I have noticed that right about in this area is usually where I get those stray hairs coming into play, because they've come loose from my head, they've fallen about halfway down, and then they've stopped and they've started making tangles. So, go back in with your fingers, see if you can get some of those strays out and break apart. It almost seems to like start dreading up if I leave this for too long, which I have before. Also, like, I don't have to do it right now because I only wash my hair once a week, which is recommended for long hairs. Don't wash your hair too often. It's very, very important that your hair stay moisturized and well oiled. And the best oil for your hair comes from your head. So I'm not putting any additional oils on my hair right now. When I comb out my children's hair, it's very curly. I typically I have this Shea Moisture Coconut and Hibiscus Kids Extra Moisturizing Detangler. So that's really nice, and it's, no sulfates, no paraffins, no mineral oil, things like that. But I'll literally just put oil on their hair too, to help me detangle it, and that's helpful. My hair's already oily naturally from my scalp, so I don't need to put anything additional on it right now. So please ignore the noise. My dog's just walking around the house. I have 2 small children, so that means that there are spare bits of food everywhere, and he's just going and finding them. He's my woofer. Other people have a Hoover. I have a woofer. If you have small children, it's almost necessary to have a dog that you occasionally let out just to go around and eat all the food. There he goes. Okay. We're 11 minutes in, and it may not look like it, but I'm actually almost finished detangling my hair. Isn't that cool? I'm going to pause the video right now because my husband needs to come in and get his stuff. So, hold on. And we're back. You didn't miss anything. My children hate this portion because it's like, find the huge knot. Slowly pick individual hairs out of the huge knot. Let's see if I can get a close-up of this. Okay, where is the camera? There it is. You can see, it's a tightly tangled knot, and I guarantee you once I pick all of the stray hairs free, there's going to be like the tiny little bit of fuzz, a little bit of dust, maybe a stray hair. And that's what contributes to this. And this is what your brush hits and pulls and hurts. And your brush isn't going to get through this. Not without ripping your hair out. The best way to do this is to take the knot in one hand, hold up your hair, find out the end that is still connected to your hair, start grabbing individual hairs and pulling them loose. I know it seems time consuming. I know it does. But it's worth it because A, it doesn't hurt this way, and B, you don't lose as much hair, you don't break as much hair, you don't end up damaging your hair as much, and yeah, it's still super time consuming, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, but I mean, if you're a super duper long hair, then you probably like your hair, then you probably don't mind all of the extra work that comes along with it, especially since this is once a week. I'm not doing this every single day. Every single morning I'm not getting up and brushing my hair. It takes literally half an hour, but that's because I have 5 feet of it. You have hair down to here, it's not going to take you nearly as long, especially not with this. So, oh. Yeah, my first bit of advice to them was get a tangle teaser, just right off the bat. Just do it. Just do yourself a favor, go get a tangle teaser. My friend sent me a video of the brush she's using right now, and just went, so much static electricity. Look at those teeth. So widely spaced apart. So horrible. I was just like, that's just everything that's wrong in a brush. Please stop using that. Looking at you. Okay. Okay, and like I said, you're gonna get all those stray hairs. So there they all are. I always feel bad for how much hair comes loose, but like I said earlier, it's gonna be around about 700 hairs. 705 feet long hairs, so I'm not even finished. And we already have a significant hairball, so that's what happens. So. Okay, so just have that mass right there. I hate this part. And once again, if your hair is shorter, you don't run into this issue. But when your hair is longer, you run into where, like, you've got the bottom part, you've got the top, and then you've got this mass of mostly shed hair and just dust, and it's all clumped together, and it's horrible. And it's best to just go in with your fingers and just work your way through it. Just break each one apart and just slowly find either where that great big tangle is and pick it apart gently, hair at a time, or you can, if you can take the pain, just gently work it apart, kind of this seesawing motion that I'm doing here. And I think I found the big tangle. Yeah, there he is. There he is. Oh, he's gonna be nice. We're just gonna pull him out right there. Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay. You can see why you wouldn't want to be wearing a ton of rings or watches or bracelets or anything when you're doing this. Just, oh God, I can't wear any of that stuff. It just gets caught in my hair constantly and I hate it. So, another hairball. Like I said, that mass is going to be mostly shed hair, so I'm going to get a lot of that out. Okay. Alrighty. And the tangle teaser, if you do it right, you don't pull it all the way through. You don't like get it all the way through the mass of your hair when you're gently picking the tangles out. It can do those. The secret of the tangle teaser is that all of the teeth are like different sizes and lengths. So even though it can be really fun. You can get them for thick curly hair, and the teeth are even longer, so you can get through the really thick hair. But we're coming to the end. We're coming to the end, and it's only taken me 18 minutes. Oh God, for one side. Like I said, it takes about a half an hour. 5 feet long. Okay. Think this is gonna be the one. This is gonna be the one. Aha! Ran the whole brush through it. Yes. So this side is detangled finally. Now, just to make sure to get rid of all the static electricity in it, I like to go in with the wooden brush. And the extra benefit of the wooden brush is that it's going to grab the oil that's more prominent up here, and it's going to drag it to the end of my hair where it desperately needs it. I keep my hair up in a bun most of the time, which is nice because the oils from my scalp can get transferred to where the ends of my hair are like wrapped up right up against it. So that's nice. Okay. Oh, that beautiful feeling of like, oh, my hair is tangle free. And I can run the brush all the way through it. Yes. Oh, yeah. Perfect, right there. Okay. Now, now we see the difference. Not brushed and brushed. Oh, gosh. Okay, so I'm sure you don't want to see me do this side as well. It's exactly the same as this side. So pause it. I'll be right back once I get finished with the other side. And we're back just in time for the money shot. Oh, all the way down. Yeah, there we go. That's the stuff. Yep. Okay. And people always ask the question of other hair gurus that I've watched, how much hair did you lose? How much hair did you shred? So, this is a week's worth of shedding. It looks like a mouse, doesn't it? Okay. Again, going in on this side. Just with the wooden brush, just to evenly distribute the oils. Oh, another good nice thing about the wooden brush is that it has these little wooden round beads on the top, which makes it a really good scalp massager. Oh, God. Oh. Women talk about, like, getting home and taking their bras off and how good that feels and stuff like that. For me, there's nothing better than, like, getting home and taking my bun down. Like, I can't keep it down because I have small children. I have to put it right back up. But in the moments when I'm, like, I've just gotten home, I'll take my bun down and just, good scalp massage. It's just, everything. Nice. Stuff right there. Okay. It's all detangled. All 5 feet of it. So, this concludes your detangling tutorial. Oh. Okay. I hope that was helpful for people. I know the first time someone told me, well, you gotta brush from the bottom up, I totally thought that they meant to take a brush and start brushing upwards. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. So, I hope this was helpful. And, alright, bye. Love you all.